Hey everyone, Rick here from Port Zero Cyber Solutions. Today we're diving into a practical demo of password hash cracking using a powerful tool called John the Ripper. John is an industry standard tool used in pen testing to check the strength of hash passwords. We'll show how easily weak passwords can be cracked with the right tools, and why it's so critical to enforce strong password policies across your organization. So in this video, we're going to go through what password hashes are and why they're used instead of storing real passwords, how John the Ripper works, the process of using dictionary-based attacks to crack hashes, how to create a password list and a hash file, how to run John and crack SHA-1 hashes in Kali Linux, and how to view and interpret the results. So before we get in the demo, let's quickly talk about password hashes. When you type your password into a secure website or system, it doesn't store the password directly. Instead, it runs through a one-way mathematical algorithm called a hash function and stores the result. The result is called a hash. It looks like a long string of letters and numbers, and it's designed to be irreversible. That means even if someone gets access to the stored hash, they're not supposed to be able to convert it back to the original password. But here's the problem. If the original password is weak or common, an attacker can run the same hashing algorithm on a giant list of known passwords and then compare the results. If they find a match, the password's cracked. So hashing is meant to protect passwords, but it only works if users use strong, unique passwords that are easily guessed or found in common word lists. Now that we understand how a password hash is, let's look at how John the Ripper works. John's a password cracking tool that performs dictionary attacks, brute force attacks, and even more complex methods like rules-based attacks. So in the video, we're going to focus on a dictionary attack where John takes each word in a list, like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, password, all lowercase, welcome 1, 2, 3, and then hashes it using the same algorithm the stored hash is used, and then compares the results. So if the hash guess matches the stored hash, that password's been cracked. This is exactly what attackers do when they get access to a compromised password database, and why weak or reused passwords are such a major risk. So if you think back to my previous video, utilizing 12, keeping it long, 12 characters, mix matching or embedding in uppercase, lowercase, special characters and numbers, just sprinkling those in will make it that much harder. So, but on the flip side, John the Ripper does help pen testers simulate real-world attacks, giving organizations a chance to identify weak passwords before attackers do. So without further ado, let's get into the demo. All right, as you can see for our demo, we are in our Kali VM. We're on our Kali desktop. We've opened up the command line, and currently at the command line, we're going to go ahead and move over to the desktop. That's where our files are at. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is what we prepared is both a word list, which is our list of passwords, and our hash list, which is our list of SHA-1 password hashes. Okay, so let's take a look at that. And as you can see here within our first word list, we've got approximately 50 just common passwords. These passwords, John will test against all the hashes that we're going to have in the next file. So as you can see, we've got a list of just generic passwords. Real easy, nothing overcomplicated. Now we're going to look at our hash list. And as you can see, we've got roughly 22 SHA-1 hashes listed in here. With these hashes, they're simulated to represent weakly stored passwords from a vulnerable database that we've received. So as a threat actor, I may have recovered this list of SHA-1 hashes. right, so we'll close out of that. All right, so now we're going to use John the Ripper to attempt to crack these hashes using our word list. So what we're going to do is John format equals raw SHA-1 word list equals word list, and then we'll bounce that against our hashes file. Oh, sorry, we need the equals. There we go. Let's get rid of this. All right, as you can see, John ran. Only took a couple seconds. Real easy because the passwords were very easy. They weren't complex. As you can see here, it loaded 22 password hashes with no different salts. So no salts, they were all unsalted hashes. There was a list of 22 password hashes, but 15 are remaining. So that means 7 were actually captured. So it did its job, but what we're going to do is we're going to view the cracked passwords. So after a few seconds, John has cracked several of our test hashes. So let's review the results. So John, we're going to show format equals raw SHA-1 hashes 1. And as you can see, it did pull these 7 password hashes. What this doesn't show right now, based off of this command, is the actual hash in accordance with the password that it corresponds with. So if we want to see that, if you want to display the cracked hashes alongside their plain text passwords like we see here, for reporting, you can check John's internal storage file. Okay, so in order to see that, we'll do cat, go to the root file, John, and John's pot file. So as you can see here, we've got the associated SHA-1 hashes delineated with the colon to the associated password in our password list in the word list. So if you, there you can go to the original the john.pot file. It stores that file there. It stores all the cracked password hashes in this format right here. And you can use this for documentation, reporting, or compliance testing. But if you want to create your own script to make it look a little bit better, here's a sample script you can use. So paste -d hashes 1 format. As you can see, we've already got this in our system because it's already doing it for me, or pre-filling it out for me. And we're going to outfile that to cracked hashes 1. All right. So now we've got our cracked hashes 1 file. So now let's go ahead and look at that. Cat. And as you can see, based off of our original hash file, our hashes 1 file, the 7 cracked passwords are visible from our word list. Those are the associated SHA-1 hashes in accordance with or associated with the passwords from our word list. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, password 1 through 9, 1 through 8, 1 through 5, QWERTY, ABC 1, 2, 3. So with those, we've got another 15 that still have yet to be cracked. So right here, what you're seeing is our original 22 hashes, SHA-1 hashes, and then we've got our 7 cracked passwords along with that. All right, so this demo just showed how easily weak passwords can be cracked using basic tools, and how attackers don't need advanced systems to compromise poorly secured credentials. At Point Zero Cyber Solutions, we help organizations test and strengthen their cybersecurity posture before it's too late. If you're not testing your password policies, someone else might be. Thanks for watching, and if you have any recommendations for tools, demos, or other cyber training, please let me know in the comments. Subscribe for more cybersecurity awareness and hands-on training.